Hey guys, there we are. Okay. All right, so on screen. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna log into Facebook on my computer so I can see comments over here. Apparently I can only see comments on one of the two. So now if you joined us yesterday or if you were watching the replay, I made hummus to go inside of our rainbow salad, right? Sounds delicious. One problem. I was so excited. I was a little, I don't want to say overwhelmed because I don't think that's the right word, but one of the things that I did, there we go. Okay, now I can see your comments. Yeah, I want to be able to see your comments. Okay, so now we're all set up. I got the YouTube comments up there, some Facebook comments down here. All right, I've got the recipe right here. We're set and ready to go. You're gonna find that this is actually a very easy recipe to prepare. And yesterday when I made it for a rainbow salad, I forgot two key ingredients. I forgot the lemon juice and a little bit of spice somewhere in there. So I need to grab two things, and then we're gonna get started in here and show you how to make hummus at home and how easy it is so that it is the tasty version of it. I cannot have you guys go out and make the version from yesterday. I can't. I just can't do it. No, no. There's just a no right there because oh my God, it was not good. And that's not how hummus tastes when you make it at home. When you make it at home, it's like we were talking about yesterday with the produce. When you have homegrown tomatoes, homegrown fruits and veggies, there's flavor there. There's so much flavor there. That's how you know that there are nutrients within it, right? Or that the nutrients are high quality nutrients is you have flavor. Flavor where you don't normally have flavor from store-bought, okay? Now, with this, I'm going easy here. You guys want easy? I'm going easy. We're not starting with beans that we have soaked, that we have cooked. We are starting with a can. Our lemon juice comes from a jar. Garlic comes from a jar. It's easy. All right, let me go grab a couple things, get the food processor base, and we're gonna get started. And for this, all you need is your food processor, ingredients, and a little spatula, help you kind of scrape down the sides. If you have a small, I have a larger, I have like a 1 quart, I think is what this is. Yeah, I think it's a 1 quart. I don't know, it's big. If you have a smaller one, you can still make this, okay? But you don't necessarily need to scrape as much. With the larger ones, that kind of get stuck on the side, so you have to scrape the sides. But let me go grab the pulser. Here we go. We got these. We'll call the pulser today. Why not? Why not? And then I'm going to grab avocado from the fridge. We're going to make this as we were supposed to make it yesterday. You ever notice they like, let me look at this one. That's it. So short. All right. Let me grab avocado. The thing with avocado all right. I also grabbed something else that I wanted to mention to you guys. When you make hummus, and we'll get to the end of this, But when you make hummus, you can pretty much put whatever you want once you get over the base recipe. All right, so let's get to the base recipe, and then we will, and then I'll show you how you do all the additions to it. Okay. All right, so the very first thing that we're going to put in is garbanzo beans. Just put that away. So what we were talking about yesterday, and I'm just going to add everything in and not keep saying that because I'm kind of annoying myself at the moment. What we were talking about yesterday was how you can make a creamy garbanzo bean, or not garbanzo, creamy hummus, a creamier hummus. So you get it from the store, and you have like this really creamy texture. And sometimes you make it at home and it seems like it's chunky and it's grainy and it's not the same texture. So this is how you do it. So we're going to drain our garbanzo beans. Okay. And I'm going to get a plate because I think that would show you better what I'm doing. All right. And so that this plate garbanzo beans roll all over my kitchen. All right, so we put the garbanzo beans out, and you can just pour these. Oh, that's an icky one. You can just pour these into a strainer, whatever you want, if that's easier. See these covers? See that? Okay, so these things are what you want to pluck out. All right, those are apparently what creates that grainy texture. Now, when you're using canned, especially these from Simple Truth, I like the garbanzo beans from Kroger. For some reason, they really don't have a lot of skin. I don't know what they do to these suckers, but it's nice. Because when you do something like this, let's say you're in a hurry and you're just dumping stuff in your food processor. I mean, we all have those days, right? If you're dumping stuff into your food processor, you don't want to have to worry about, oh my God, I got skin in this, it's going to be grainy and da-da-da-da, right? It doesn't take much time, but it's still taking a minute. And I'm slightly obsessive because now that I know I want it creamy, now I'm like, okay, can we get all of the skins off, please? All right, there we go. All right, so very first thing you put in the food processor, garbanzo beans. It's a base, right? All right. Next thing in the base recipe for hummus is a can of chickpeas, and yes, I wrote it down. 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of tahini, and a tablespoon of lemon juice with some garlic, cumin, and salt and pepper. After that, you can start playing. And that's where it gets fun. All right, so 1/4 cup of olive oil. I eyeball it. You can use a measuring thing. Once you make this a couple of times, you kind of know how much oil you need based on the can that you're using, as well as your container. Because your container doesn't change, the can doesn't change. So you can start eyeballing and just looking at, all right, this is how much it looks like it should have. If it has a little bit extra, it's okay. It just makes it a little bit creamier, especially if you start playing with it afterwards and you're adding in other flavors to your hummus. If you have a little extra olive oil, it's okay. It gets eaten up. Sometimes you need to put a little bit more. Sometimes you need to put a little bit less. Teaspoon of cumin, and you really don't need a lot. This is a hard shaker. It's another thing with the Simple Truth people. They're organic spices. To shake them out. It's like they pack them in there, and the suckers don't want to leave. All right, so we got the cumin. Let's put a tablespoon of lemon juice. You want to splash it in here. Lemon is like salt. It brings out the flavor of food. Okay. There we go. A couple of splashes. And once again, the recipe says 1 tablespoon. Feel free to measure. I don't cook in measurements. I like to show you how I cook so you can see that, yes, you can do this. Because ultimately what happens, look, when you look inside, you can see if there's enough lemon juice in there. Okay, based on you making it once, you can tell. All right. When it comes to garlic, I'm definitely very liberal. We love garlic in this house. It is a staple. And not just because it is one of the ultimate healers in the world, but it's a staple. So now I already know that when I take one of my teaspoons, this right here is about a tablespoon. All right. So what you want is 1 clove of garlic or a tablespoon of minced garlic. Now, I love this organic spice world. Okay, I love it. They have garlic, they have ginger, I think they have tahini now. God knows what else, but really good stuff, you guys. Very, very flavorful, tasty. That's how you can tell. All right, now here's our tahini. Now, as a reminder, tahini is like natural peanut butter. See, you got your liquid and you have your dense, right? So you have to kind of stir it up, and then you can pull it out. And this is where we're going to need our spatula as well. So we're going to need our spatula as well because we're going to need to scrape it in. And then we put some salt and pepper. Now, normally with tahini, you can store it just like natural peanut butter upside down, but that top, the top that's on this, not good. You store it upside down, it leaks. So I don't recommend storing this one upside down. There is one in the international section of a lot of grocery stores. It's really good. It comes from India. The label, everything, you can tell it is native. I found it actually at a Tom Thumb once, and that's the Safeway brand, Safeway line. So for those of you up north, it's Safeway line. All right, 2 tablespoons of tahini. Now here's the thing with the sesame seed paste. There's one person in our midst who has issues with sesame seeds. Okay, the deal with the sesame seed paste is to kind of give it that nuttiness and that flavor. If you have issues with sesame seeds, okay, you can't use the sesame seed paste, but some butter, pumpkin seed butter, there is now sunflower seed butter. Those 3 are excellent replacements for the sesame seed butter. Okay, so if you have issues with sesame seeds, there's an alternative. All right, now all we need, salt, pepper, whir it up, and then you're going to find out all the fun stuff. Because, I mean, that's where this gets a lot. That's where this recipe in particular gets to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I always have Himalayan salt. Lots of minerals in Himalayan salt. I have sea salt for various recipes so that we're not eating just one type. Remember, moderation and variety. I basically shoved it down your throat this week. All right, let's put a little pepper in there. I love grinders. Black pepper is actually most fragrant and, say, healthy. Basically, all the nutrients that you can find and all the minerals and health benefits you can find from black peppercorns, or even the white peppercorns and the red peppercorns, are released when they're ground up. Hence why pepper grinders are a thing. Still to this day. Okay. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it on low for a count of 60, so for a full minute, and then we're gonna start pulsing it so that we can get the creaminess. Okay. Once we have the creaminess, then we start playing. Okay. So here's what it looks like. So now what we want to do is kind of scrape it in, because I have a bigger one, so you're going to scrape it in so that the blades really get all of them. And it looks like it needs a little bit more moisture. So what I'm going to do is instead of adding more olive oil, I'm going to add some more lemon juice. Didn't seem like I added a lot, so All right, there we go. Let's see if that helps. And we're adding avocado to this one because the recipe that we made yesterday is avocado. And you know, yes, we're gonna spice it up, but you know, start with our base, right? All right, now we pulse. 5 quick pulses, and I usually hit the pulse button, count to 10, let it go. Hit the pulse button, count to 10, let it go. Okay, there's no reason for it. It just is how I do it. This is actually looking really good. All right, so now what happens with these bigger ones is once it's ground up as much as it's going to grind up, it kind of falls to the bottom underneath the blades, right? Or with this, because we're only using a certain amount. And that's how you kind of know, all right, it's good to go. And that's when we start playing. So we have a little bit more to go. So let's pulse it 5 more times. Oh, this looks good. Okay. Show you. See? So much better than yesterday. All right, let's see if it tastes better. Because that's the key. So much better. No, it's still kind of grainy, but and chunky. The way you can fix that is just to keep pureeing it. We're going to add avocado in here anyway, so it's going to get pureed. Now, these, turn it around. These, I love holy guacamole. You want to know what is on the ingredients list? Avocados. That's it. Avocados. Now, each container is a serving. This one calls for a full avocado, a full medium avocado. This, too. There's your avocado. There's your avocado. There's the chickpea getting caught in my throat. All right, so take our spatula. We're going to drop our avocado into our mix, and then we're going to let it puree for a good minute or two. I'm just going to put it on low, let it do its thing. And here's the thing, you guys, you have a big family, right? And you all eat hummus all week long. This recipe will last a week, okay? You can most definitely make one of those large cans. You will have more than enough. More than enough for a good family of 4 or 5, including teenage boys, okay? And I say that because some of us just, you know, it's a stigma that teenage boys eat a lot. Never been in the house with me when I'm training for a marathon or a half marathon. I can eat a lot. All right, let's go. Ready? 1 minute. So green. If you see, it has some striations in it, right? So we could keep mixing it up if we want, or we could leave it like this. If you find that you get this point and it's still a little too grainy, then you can add a little bit more lemon juice. There isn't a strong lemon flavor on this, and really lemon is a preservative. It is creamy. It is delicious. Oh my gosh, I could probably use a little bit more garlic, but you know, that could be me just liking a lot of garlic in my stuff. All right, here's where you play. Now you don't have to add the avocado. All right, so let's say avocado, not avocado. You like red pepper hummus. Add some roasted red peppers in. You like artichoke and spinach. Add spinach and artichoke in there. Sun-dried tomatoes. Have you tried the sun-dried tomato basil hummus yet? Oh my gosh, especially you guys with the Italian cravings. The basil sun-dried tomato hummus. Oh, it's delicious. So the jar, kind of like what we made yesterday with the soup, is you get the jar of the sun-dried tomatoes, drop them straight in. Yes, it's going to be chunky. To make sure it is not chunky, drop it into your smoothie maker. The whole reason we don't make hummus in a smoothie maker or in a blender, or at least my blender, because you will not have hummus. You will have hummus soup. And we do not want hummus soup. We just want hummus. So now we're going to spice this up because that's how we do it in this house. Now, here's how I do it. All right. And like I said, we like spice in this house. I have chili pepper in the house, right? Chili powder. So we're going to spice this up. So remember we were talking about our hand and measurement in our hand. So that is going to be about 2 tablespoons. All right. And yes, it's getting tossed in. And we are going to okay. So I definitely could use some more mixing up in here. Like if you can see, there's still some stuff in there. But a lot of the mixing up can be done in a bowl. If you are lazy like me, that's not going to happen. So you scrape it into the center. Tap off the excess. Make sure that when you scrape it into the center, you notice I scraped all of the seasoning into the center as well. All right, so make sure you do that because then it really gets in there. Box that sucker up. Voila. Get a bowl. All right. This normally is supposed to be full. It holds a cup of mixed greens. And I'm saying that because we have tried to make salads in here, and you know how you get a salad and you just kind of feel like you're trying not to spill it everywhere? What happens to these bowls? All right. And then I'm going to show you how they serve it, or how we should serve it if we're serving for a group of people. You see how much this makes? I'm going to show you something to kind of entice you to try this recipe. Okay. The avocado definitely made it a much creamier texture than I was expecting. Like the flavor of it, you can tell not only does it feel really creamy on my tongue, but you know how avocado has that, I don't even know how else to explain it, but it's like a creamy flavor. It creams everything up, right? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it look all pretty. All right, right? Then you put little dips around. Even go in the center. Have you ever done this with a spoon where you go in the center and you just put a little boat in there? See if there's a spoon. Scrape this into the outside. And yes, I'm going all out here today, and we're going to make it very, very pretty. All right, here you go. So I got a question for you. What can you do with this hummus? Do you guys have a favorite recipe? I mean, short of veggies and hummus and chips and hummus. Do you have a recipe? That's good. So much better. So much better. So here's what happens. Drizzle your olive oil into your boat and around. And you have a couple options. Sprinkle some pine nuts on it, sprinkle some garlic on it, sprinkle some greens. So basil, pesto, or not pesto, I know where my brain's going. Basil, you can put some spinach leaves on top of it, chopped up, really pretty parsley, some tomatoes, you know, fun things. Actually, hold on, here, we'll get some tomatoes. Here. I mean, bougie, we're getting all bougie with our hummus. So that is your recipe for hummus as it should have been prepared yesterday. Enjoy, you guys. I hope this entices you to make your own hummus and have fun with it. If you have a recipe that or an added zhuzhing, let me know. I'm always up for new recipes, and I'm sure everyone else that has watched this or is watching this would like a little creativity as well. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful morning. Thank you so much for putting up with all the nervousness, ADHD crap yesterday, and for joining me on this hummus do-over. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.